Welcome back. We're talking with Hannah Sorensen about ways to save some money on Valentine's Day, or maybe not overspend. You don't necessarily have to think of it as like, we're going to save money, just not overspend. Let's set a budget, let's set a, schedule and stick to it.
Making it something that doesn't cause you to have stress. I think that's the most important thing. It can be something that's fun. It doesn't need to have such pressure that's always put on it, but you can do something special.
Get back to the book, The 5 Love Languages, because I think that is a great way to sort of go, okay, I'm going to make my particular spouse extremely happy if I understand that. So kind of walk people through that if they haven't.
So there's, 5 different love languages, some of them being acts of service. So if somebody receives love as acts of service, that's you doing something for them. So maybe it's washing the dishes, or maybe it's making supper for your spouse, and that will be how they receive love. Sometimes it's words, sometimes physical touch is one of the other ones, but figuring out what is that way that they're receiving love, because if you do something that doesn't relate to them, it's not going to feel special to them.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I just crushed this.
Yeah. Not as appreciated. So you mentioned the restaurants. Anything else we can be doing to maybe think about when we're spending on Valentine's Day?
Thinking about flowers, roses on Valentine's Day are typically really expensive. So if that is something special to your significant other, maybe you can deliver the flowers yourself instead of paying that delivery fee. Go pick them up. Make sure that looking at those roses, the quality, are they open yet? Try to pick ones that are more closed so they last longer. But you can definitely save on that. Also deciding what other flowers maybe do they like better than roses. You don't always have to buy roses. Pick something that's special to that person and make it unique to them.
I like, too, the celebrate after the holiday. That's especially a good one for next week. Wait, next week, right? Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's in the middle of the week. You can save a little bit of money by buying the candy a couple days after, celebrating a couple days after.
And sometimes it's fun to go to Target afterwards, right? Go together and look at some of that clearance candy and get a little extra, and you can have fun with that. Even with your kids.
I eat all the candy.
Yeah. The other one, like you said, is turn off the technology. Walk us through the importance of that.
So I think we're so hooked to our computers, our phones, we're always at work connected. And one of the most important gifts we can give is time. Just spending really time with somebody, listening to them, versus being tied up to our phone, wanting to know what's on Facebook, what's on Twitter, what's anything out there but the person that's in front of you. So really saying, hey, let's put down our phones, let's spend, even if it's an hour, or a day together where we're actually focusing on what's important and listening to each other.
I liked the last thing too. Look at what's happening in the community. A lot of times there's free Valentine's events, or where you can make a craft, or maybe taste test some beers, or do something different than what you'd normally, as you said, than what you'd normally do.
Exactly. Often our community has great activities going on. They're often low cost or free, and it's fun to see something creative that you might be able to do. And maybe it's a cooking class, or maybe it's a craft, and maybe it's something your kids can get involved with. But just trying to look outside of what that typical Valentine's Day, feeling like you have to go buy roses and chocolates and have dinner out that night.
Plus the Olympics are on now. You could like a Valentine's Olympics. And
I'm excited for that.
Great stuff. It's always good to have you here.
Thanks.
All right, stick around. We're talking facial skincare right after this.